Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, you all may call me Pharaoh, and I'm joined with...
Skinny Minnie.
And welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice.
Woo!
Last time we left off, we actually found out quite a few shocking things regarding Soren. That really caught us off guard. The main thing was he has a memory disorder, and that's why he writes down everything in every little detail. Because he can't remember anything since the day of the accident. Or he can't remember any memories from that day, I guess. What else was I going to say? And then he was the one who actually caused the accident. So...
Yeah. And we found something in his notebook that said, I struck Dumas.
You see, I struck and killed Dumas. So, right now it's like we can let the judge give his verdict and say that, okay, Soren, you're the killer, that's it. But really, I'm not feeling too good about that one, so... No, we're not going to let the judge give his ruling.
No.
No. Not when there's still one more avenue left to explore.
This court finds the defendant, Ellen White. Oh, okay.
Your Honor, there's still something that bothers me about that notebook.
Oh, is there?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? All you have to do is keep quiet and your client's a free woman. I know, but I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think there still might be a way. A way for Ellen and Soren to be happy.
What do you mean by more than meets the eye, Mr. Wright? Do you mean like Transformers or what?
No, I'm talking about the, what was that? Wasn't there a show that kind of was like Transformers? It was like a total ripoff?
Probably, I don't know.
Okay, I can't remember. Okay, well, joke down the toilet and went. I believe the question here, Your Honor, should be, why was the incriminating page torn out in the first place?
Why, to destroy the evidence, I would imagine.
But removing it from the notebook is the same as removing it from Mr. Sprocket's memory, which means he wouldn't have been able to trick the police if he came under suspicion. No, if he wanted to cover up his crime, he would have to remember that he had done it. Just what are you getting at with this line of inquiry, Mr. Wright?
Yes, please explain it so that we can all understand.
Yes, Your Honor. The page was torn out of the notebook because... Well, I think it was someone else tore it out.
Yeah, I agree.
The incriminating page was torn out by somebody else!
What?
And it's all coming together, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, and I think our theory is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Order! Order! Are you claiming a third person interfered with the notebook?
It's not all that surprising if you consider what's happened up until now. After both the car accident and the murder of Dumas Bloomsbury, there was always a cover-up not far behind. But I had my notebook with me at all times. Did you? Because I remember you were in a panic yesterday because you couldn't find it. That's true.
So who orchestrated this particular cover-up, Mr. Wright?
If we think back over the course of the trial, it's pretty easy to guess. The one who may have tried to tamper with Soren's memories is... Larry!
Larry!
Actually, wait a minute. Okay, I was like, I'm missing a good amount of people here, and I just didn't...
You didn't scroll?
No. Okay, so, yeah.
I think it's, Pierce.
That's the only thing that comes to mind for me.
Boop!
The one who tampered with the notebook in order to manipulate Mr. Sprocket's memory is Pierce Nickety! Which isn't really a big surprise, but we'll get all into that. Pierce? Pierce tried to tamper with my memories? Pierce was manipulating me? Well, case in point, the two receptions that were held to cover up the murder. That was Mr. Nickety who directed the guests and orchestrated the entire scheme. No, it can't be. Which of my memories are mine, and which may have been rewritten? When did he start rewriting my memories? Who wrote this? And this? And this? And this? And this? And this? And this? Okay.
Oh. Soren, come back!
There's a roof. Oh, he literally took off. Oh!
What?
I thought he was gonna say, "Holy!"
He's coming back down.
Oh. My memories. Ellen. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Mrs. Sprocket!
Bailiff, please get Mr. Sprocket to the infirmary. On the double.
Anyone else going to the infirmary? Let's go.
Mr. Sprocket has been taken to the infirmary. We don't have to worry about him running away, so let us resume where we left off.
Your Honor, the defense would like to call Pierce Niggity to the stand. We already know he carried out the cover-up to protect the company and Mr. Sprocket. What more do you want from him? This time it's different. The notebook, or rather Mr. Sprocket's memories, have been tampered with. That means the only person who knows the whole truth is now Mr. Niggity. Don't tell me. Are you actually trying to drum up a third suspect in order to exonerate the defendant and her groom? I'm not drumming up anything, nor do I have grounds to accuse him of anything. Yet.
Oh?
All I know is that Mr. Niggity is the only one who knows the truth. And I think he's still hiding something. Something we don't know about yet. No grounds yet, is it?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution consent to calling the witness to the stand?
It does, Your Honor. However, I would like a little time to talk with the witness before we do.
Very well. We will break for a 20-minute recess. And we're gonna get some nachos.
With some queso!
Oh!
It's 8 minutes in the episode. I don't care. The last episode was like 30-something minutes. Let's just save and continue.
Oh, I thought you were gonna stop there. I'm like,
No, listen,
what?
I'm not that much of a jackass.
Oh, okay.
That
Well,
much. Exactly. See? Because listen, I know you. I know that's what you're gonna say. That's why I said it. The counteract your
It's not as fun.
Well, fine. Next time you can riff me all you want. I don't care. Swear. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll have to face Pierce on the stand. I'm not sure if I should be surprised or not. One thing's for sure, he won't be an easy adversary.
So, do you think Pierce did it?
It's too early to say anything at this point, but I do think he's still hiding something. Nick!
Oh, God.
Sorry.
No, he like the way he transitioned from Maya to him, it looked weird. Like she turned into Larry.
Why didn't you pin everything on Sword Loser back there? Looks like Larry still hasn't given up on Ellen. Is this Pierce guy's a real bad guy? Sword and my Ellie will live happily ever after again. Larry, that's not the kind of thing a decent human being says.
Shame on you, Larry.
Oh, boo-hoo! You think I don't know? I know I had to give up on my Ellie. But Nick, promise to make her happy. She deserves a happily ever after. I'm sure Soren will be happy once all this is said and done. The trial's about to resume, Mr. Wright. Alright, you ready, Maya?
Yep, let's go.
I'll be rooting for you, Nick.
Wait, didn't he get kicked out of the gallery?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Is he like seriously just banned from watching today's proceedings?
Or something? I thought he said an outburst and he got kicked out.
I guess it really doesn't matter now.
Oh.
Here we go.
This court is now back in session. Witness, please take the stand.
Shoes. Pants.
Slacks.
Robot.
Would you say robot?
Yeah,
Oh.
on his shoulder.
Ah.
Please state your name and occupation.
My name is Pierce Nickety. I am the Sprocket family butler. Well, let's get straight to the point, Mr. Nickety. Someone tore out a page from Mr. Sprocket's notebook to manipulate his memories. And that person was you, wasn't it? That is correct. What about it? Well, that was easy. So why'd you do it? Why did you tamper Mr. Sprocket's notebook? Please allow me to explain. It pains me to do this, but I will tell you the truth. It pains you? That is correct. For my testimony will go against Mrs. Soren's wishes. Soren's wishes? What is he talking about? So I can already tell you guys right now. Go ahead.
No, he's gonna say, Soren wrote it, so he tore it out to save the family name, blah, 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 blah.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Why I tore out the page. I rushed to the Vista deck, but the crime had already been committed. I saw Miss Ellen and Bloomsbury collapse and Master Soren writing in his notebook. Mr. Soren said to me, I'll take the blame for the murder, so please take care of Ellen. But I went against his order. I tore the page out of his notebook and hid the body. Wait a second. Well, Mr. Sprocket was writing his notebook all at that time. Could it be... It was meant to be a confession? An admission that he killed Bloomsbury himself?
But that still doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. He wrote that message to take the blame for Miss Wyatt? That is correct. Master Soren did hit Bloomsbury with the timekeeper to save Miss Ellen. Then Mr. Sprocket was the culprit after all. However, that blow did not kill Mr. Bloomsbury. That makes sense. Mr. Sprocket's injury wouldn't allow him to put much force into it. Enraged, Bloomsbury tried to attack Mr. Soren, who was already seriously wounded. But just in the nick of time, Miss Ellen hit Bloomsbury from behind, and finished him off, it would seem. So the one who inflicted the fatal blow was the defendant. Yes, that is correct. But Mr. Soren tried to take all the blame onto himself.
No way! This is pretty bad, Nick.
No kidding. Pretty bad's an understatement. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems your decision to call for Mr. Nickety has backfired. For the true culprit behind this case remains the defendant, Ellen Wyatt. Ugh! Could this get any worse?
Phoenix, don't say that!
Oh, look, it's raining in the courtroom for whatever reason. But Pierce was involved in the cover-up plot, and I bet he still has something to hide. Okay, I really didn't see anything to straight up present on.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Anything specific to press? Because he only has 4 statements, which I assume he's going to add some stuff.
Yeah. Let's see.
I rushed to the Vista deck, but the crime had already been committed. I saw Miss Ellen and Mr. Bloomsbury collapse, and Master Soren was writing in his notebook. Master Soren said to me, I'll take the blame for the murder, so please take care of Ellen. But I went against his order. I tore the page out of the notebook and hid the body.
Let's try the second statement first. That he saw them collapsed.
Hold on.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, the second statement?
Yeah.
Okay. I went all the way to the end and it did the little thing.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, saw Miss Ellen. Okay, ready.
Alright. You press on it?
Yeah.
Oh. So when you and your group arrived at the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed? That's correct. Bloomsbury had already been struck. Miss Ellen had lost consciousness, probably from the shock of the incident. And how did Mr. Sprocket appear? He was bleeding from the stab wound he received from Bloomsbury. Barely conscious, he was writing something in his notebook. So the mysterious third person Ellen saw really was Soren then. Now let's try the last statement as well.
Hold it!
Mr. Nickety, could you please tell us more about that in more detail? That you say? Which part do you mean, Mr. Wright? Could you be more specific here? Oh, alright. What part do I want to know more about? I'm kind of leaning towards hiding the body, but I don't know.
Me too.
Let's go with that then.
Because we found a bloody handprint on the...
Oh, on the inside of the thing, right?
Because it was switched around.
Yeah. Please tell me more about hiding the body. Very well. After saying he would take the blame as the Soren passed out, that's when I hit the body. I quickly took the lift down to the hold, and where I hid Bloomsbury's still warm body in the spare Pegaboo lantern. So it was you who hit the body, not the defendant. To think Mr. Butts would move the lantern containing the body to the reception hall. Well, I did not see that one coming. I don't blame you. Not even Larry could predict what Larry will do next. Maybe I should take another look at the state lantern evidence.
Mr. Wright, would you like that statement added to the witness's testimony?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Very well. Please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Nickety.
In the hold, I hid the still warm body in the spare Pegaboo lantern. And... Phoenix mentioned he should take another look at the lantern. Where is it?
It's on the second page. I think it's the first one.
Oh, there it is.
Restored lantern. There's a blood stain on the inside wheel handle as if somebody gripped it with a bloody hand. I don't know if we should present that there.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a... I'm gonna just take a guess on it.
Okay.
It was right.
Oh, good.
Hold on, I got something in my damn throat.
You okay?
Yeah. Alright. Could it be? Is that what happened? If what I'm thinking is true, then maybe I can prove it. Maybe I can prove neither Ellen nor Soren did the deed. Mr. Nickety, you said the body was still warm when you hit it, correct? So then, what if Mr. Bloomsbury was still alive when he went to put his body into the lantern? What?
What?
Well, that's preposterous.
Well, if a body's dead, then...
But how would you explain the bloody grip from the inside? Maybe he was trying to get out.
Yeah.
So...
That's true.
Well, actually, this shows that the victim might still have been alive while inside the lantern.
I'm afraid you'll have to point out which part you're talking about, Mr. Wright.
This part here shows the victim might have still been alive inside a lantern. And I beat a handle.
Oh. Well, God, why can't I get it? Did it.
As you can see, the back end of the lantern is a door. And there's blood here on the wheel handle.
Objection!
That bloodstain must have gotten there when the witness put the body inside the lantern. It in no way shows that the victim drew his last breath while he was within the lantern. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth, for you see, in putting the lantern back together, the police inadvertently placed the inside handle on the outside and vice versa. In other words, the wheel handles got swapped.
Oh my! So they got swapped.
Yes, they got swapped! What? Well, that's ridiculous. Not at all. If you compare the other male Pegaboo lantern in the reception hall, it's quite obvious the wheel handles were attached backwards. The detective in charge of the restoration will see me in my office later. Who was...
Aww.
Oh, it's Emma, never mind. I thought it was gonna be like a good old buddy of ours, but...
Aww.
Sorry, Emma, and good luck.
In that case, what does the bloodstain on the wheel handle mean?
The bloodstain didn't get there by chance. When the victim was put inside the lantern, he was only unconscious, not dead. When he regained consciousness, he probably tried to get out of the lantern. So he grasped the inner wheel handle, and that's when the blood got on it. This proves that the victim was still alive when he was inside the lantern. At the time, I was completely convinced Bloomsbury was dead. Had I checked more carefully, he might have survived. Unfortunate to be sure, but not significant enough to change this trial's outcome. Again, I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. It actually has a very significant impact on this case. The victim was struck by the defendant, then died from the injury sometime later. There's nothing more to it!
Objection!
That's where you're wrong! Let's take another look at Mr. Bloomsbury's autopsy report, shall we? Please focus on the description of his injuries. It says one contusion was found in the back of the head and one on the side. Yes, the ones Mr. Sprocket gave him and the one Miss White delivered to finish him off. No, the defense would like to submit a different interpretation.
A different interpretation?
The victim was knocked unconscious by the first blow and then was put into the lantern.
Then what about the lethal blow to the defendant, by the defendant that the witness talked about?
Yes, well, that didn't happen. After some time, when the victim regained consciousness and tried to get out of the lantern, that's when he received a second blow that finished him off.
Taking into account that the fact that the victim was alive for a period of time after the first hit, and that he did receive a second blow to the head, it does seem entirely possible.
Yes, as long as the first blow didn't kill the victim instantly, then there's a possibility that someone other than Mr. Sprocket or Miss Wyatt delivered a fatal blow.
Objection!
That's all you've got. Even if there was a time lag between the two blows, the prosecution's position doesn't change. What? What do you mean? It's elementary, Mr. Wright. After the reception, when the defendant was cleaning up the reception hall, the victim, who was supposed to be dead, suddenly came out of the lantern. The defendant grabbed another weapon, which was right there, and finished him off.
That theory does sound awfully familiar.
Well, of course it does, Your Honor, because it's exactly what I proposed at the very start. The second blow was inflicted by the defendant after all.
Oh, I see! It seems a tangle of mysteries has unraveled into a single thread.
Objection!
But as long as there's a possibility that the fatal blow is delivered by a third person, then we must continue the deliberations. Give it up, Mr. Wright! Unless you have something to prove the presence of this precious third person?
Okay, Nick, just relax. You can do this. Come on now, take some deep breaths.
Good idea. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
There. Don't you feel better already?
Maya's right. I should calm down and get my focus back and go over everything again. And then, hopefully, I'll be able to find something to prove that there was a third person. Let's see. First, why did Bloomsbury attack Ellen?
Because he was tired of taking the blame for the accident?
But something about that line of reasoning doesn't feel quite right with me.
No? How come?
Well, if it's just a personal vendetta, he had already stabbed Soren. So why then was he so determined to go after Ellen?
You're right. This whole thing feels too premeditated for a crime of passion.
But Bloomsbury didn't seem to have a personal grudge against Ellen. If Bloomsbury didn't have a personal reason to attack Ellen, then... You have taken long enough, Mr. Wright. Now it's time for some action. What proof do you have that a third person was involved? Alright, I'll show you. I'm not completely sure what I'm doing yet, but it looks like I'm out of time. This piece of evidence proves the involvement of third person. And oh man, I'm not really sure.
Me neither.
I was gonna go with Gloomsbury's note. Because it's the whole thing, like, it's smudged by somebody who is right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
And if Dumas is left-handed, then so he must have not have written that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is the right one, though. But I'm gonna take a shot at it. Let me just go ahead and present it, and we'll see.
Okay.
Take that!
It's right.
Oh, okay. Boop.
I get it now. Now I see why this don't bother me so much when I first saw it. It looks like a note outlining a murder plot. By the victim.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Your Honor, please take a look at this note.
This is the victim's murder plan, right?
It's definitely a murder plan, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury didn't write this note himself?
What?
This is how you intend to conjure up your mysterious third party, Mr. Wright? Can you even prove that a note wasn't written by the victim? Yes. Yes, I can.
Very well then. Please present your evidence, Mr. Wright.
This evidence proves the victim didn't write this note. And that goes back to the candelabra.
The candelabra?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
Take that!
This is the weapon Mr. Gloomsbury used to stab Mr. Sprocket. I was wondering what you pull off this time. Dare I ask what that could possibly more have? I can't talk. Excuse me. Dare I ask what that could possibly have to do with this note? Mr. Gloomsbury's prints were found on this candelabra, and the prints were from his left hand.
So that makes the victim left-handed, correct?
Exactly, Your Honor. The police looked into it too and confirmed as much. Now, take a look at the smudged writing in this note. Notice how the smudging only starts from the middle of each preceding line. Had this been written by a lefty, the writing would have been smudged from the far left end. Which means that the victim, whoever wrote this note, was definitely right-handed. In other words, somebody other than the victim wrote this note.
What? But if someone other than Mr. Gloomsbury wrote it, then what does this note mean?
Mr. Gloomsbury followed this note to the letter when he attacked Miss Wyatt. So clearly, this note isn't a murder plan written by Mr. Gloomsbury, but rather, these are instructions to kill Miss Wyatt issued by somebody else.
Objection!
Now I'm getting the fourth case of the original game.
Oh.
Wow.
Jeez.
If it wasn't a victim who wrote these so-called instructions, then who wrote it? Most of the people involved are right-handed, you know. He is correct. The majority of the family and the employees were on the issue, and are indeed right-handed. I must say that is a very rough and slipshod conjecture you proposed. I admit. Oh God. I'm all over the place. Whew. I admit I haven't figured out who wrote it just yet.
Leave it to Mr. Edgeworth to go for the jugular.
This culprit who ordered Gloomsbury to attack Alan. What could their motive have been?
It doesn't seem very likely Ellen did anything to incur anybody's wrath, right?
Right. Not so likely, anyway. Well, in that case, it has to be about Soren.
If somebody were to hold a grudge against Soren, what would it be about?
An accident, I'd guess. I could understand if Gloomsbury felt resentful after having to take the blame.
But the one who lost the most to the accident was Soren's sister. She lost her life after all. Soren suffered too, of course. He was crushed by losing someone so precious to him.
Somebody precious, huh? Soren's sister. Wait, there's one other person. There's someone else who must hold a grudge against Soren.
Did you figure something out?
I think so. I think there's somebody else who used Gloomsbear to try and get revenge against Soren.
Did you say something? Somebody tried to get revenge against Mr. Sprocket, Mr. Wright.
The person who would manipulate and use Mr. Gloomsberry was... Oh, wow. I didn't really realize what time it was.
Oh. Oh, shoot.
But, yeah. I think we know the answer, but we're just going to go ahead and do it in the next episode. And I need to take a... I need to take a little bit of a break because I think I've been talking too much and my air is leaving my body too much. If that makes sense. So, as usual, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time for Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice.
Whoop whoop.
We'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching.
Bye.
I said it already, but sure.
I think he's drunk.
No, but a drink would be kind of okay, but
Next episode, drunk episode.
You got some stuff to drink?
I can get some.
Alright, shoot, let's go.
Alright, bye.